That last question in your cruise that you discussed there was quite a difficult one. Are you a religious person? It's quite a challenging one to answer. You see, I would say I'm not a religious person. When people say, are you religious? I'm going, no, I'm not. I'm really not. Religion for me is about routine and about what I should do. I want to tell you, I'm not disciplined enough for routine. I'm not good at doing what I should do at a certain time. I'm not disciplined enough. But you might think that's strange, Andy. Andy, you're a Christian. Why are you saying you're not religious? You see, for me, being a Christian is not about religion. It's about relationship. You see, religion tells you what you must do. Christianity tells you what is done. Check this in Romans 5. It says, but God demonstrated his own love for us whilst we were still sinners, whilst we were still messing up, whilst we were still getting it wrong. Christ died for us. Remember, I talked about Jesus dying for us. If you missed that, go back on YouTube and watch that. I explain it using a river. It's really good. But in Romans 5, it says, while we were still messed up, Christ did what he needed to do in order for us to be in relationship. You see, religion is about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Whereas being a Christian is about being in relationship with Jesus. And you as a Christian, if you are a Christian, or maybe even if you're not a Christian but you know some Christians, you might think that being a Christian is all about rules and is all about what you can and can't do. I would argue that it's not, it's about relationship. But with any relationship comes rules. See, I'm married to Laura. I've got this wedding ring on to show that I am married to my wife. And within our marriage, there are certain rules. I can't just go out and kiss any girl that I want. There are rules for that. If my relationship with my wife is gonna be good, I have to stick by certain rules. I can't just go and kiss anybody. I can't just go and spend £1,000 without talking to my wife. I can't do those things because it's about our relationship. Now, those rules are there, but not for rules' sake, not to spoil my fun, but to make the relationship that I've got with my wife the best that it can be. And you see, that's what it's like with Christianity, with being in relationship with God, is that it's not that you have to, it's that you get to. You see, you don't have to not get drunk, but you get to not get drunk. You don't have to not swear, you get to not swear, which might feel like a massive challenge for some of you, and it might feel a huge burden. But you see, God wants the best for us. And he says that these things, all the things that you think, I'm not allowed to do that, I'm not allowed to do that, I'm not allowed to do that. He's saying, in order for our relationship, for us to live out the life that we were created and designed for, we need to not do these things. Not because God wants to spoil our fun, but because he wants the best for us. You see, I think if you've said yes, you have been called to live a holy life. You have been called to live a life that represents what it means to follow Jesus. But I think sometimes we as Christians, if you call yourself a Christian, can fall into the trap of going, I can do what I want. If it feels good, I'm going to do it. If I like it, I'll do it. If they like it, I'll do it. But you see, we live our life for God. We live our life following God. And part of that is obedience. It's not religion, but it's obedience. And it's following God. You see, the guy Ashley in the video, he talked about obedience. He talked about being willing to follow God, even when it meant him quitting the X Factor and those kind of things. He was committed to his relationship. You see, we've got to understand that God wants the best for our lives. He has a purpose that he's put in us. And if we're saying yes to Jesus, then we are called to live out this holy life that he has called us to. See, God wants the best for us. It's not about relationship, it's not about religion. It is about relationship. Don't get that confused. It's not about religion, it is about relationship. That's why I would say I am not religious.